Okay, we're going in. This is the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast, which we will be chopping off the front end of the show because we did you guys not just hear music with me?
There was music.
And now
then
there's
suddenly there was no music. It was silence. It was just, like the gently snowing fall, the falling snow.
Right.
Outdoors this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting here. So we'll be chopping off the beginning of this and you'll just come in on us sounding all confused. But hey, it's Kelly Guest and
Colleen Bertino.
And the triumphant return of Michael.
Yay.
Where have you been?
Oh, it's been a couple weeks. It's been a rough couple weeks for me.
Yeah. Didn't you get like the crud and just all sorts of other really heinous things and chiropractic accidents?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, in my line of work, we definitely need to see the chiropractor quite often. So I go monthly just to stay, in tune with my body. Otherwise, carrying dildos out I bring them all out. It's heavy.
A dildo carrier. I never.
Yeah, they tend to weigh a bit when you put too many in a box. There is a definite skill set, to packing the box to go out. You don't have too many lubes in a box, too many dildos in a box, too many things in a box.
So bend at the knees means something entirely different in your warehouse,
Yes.
doesn't it? Oh my God.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, glad to have you back. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling happy?
I'm feeling great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Time to mend.
Yeah, it's passed on to my sister who is home feeling like hell right now. So
okay.
Hopefully it will end with my sister and will not continue around the office. But I don't know any one of my friends that doesn't say that just the crud's going through their office like crazy.
Oh, and you know what's and then the recycling, but then you throw the kids in the mix, and God love them, but they're petri dishes. I mean, especially the little ones, and it just goes around and around. It's like I just feel so bad for my nieces and nephews that all have small kids right now because if somebody's always barfing and having other excretions that we really want to deal with.
It definitely takes up all of the middle of the night sexy time if you're dealing with the vomit burrito, which is what I call it when the kid barfs and you're like, hey, this is exciting. We're having a little moment. And then you hear that noise and then you realize that there's going to be laundry and cleaning and
Yeah, it's not sexy at all.
No.
Both Eric and I, my husband and I, were sick at the same time, and that's not fun. Because there was nobody there to take care of me. I had to take care of him and take care of myself.
Okay. Yep.
It's like,
well, and I mean, this works a little bit different in a gay relationship, I would think. But historically, I have found, and all the men in my family are certainly falling into this. Men are bigger babies.
I'm a big baby.
So yeah, I know. And so when you have to step out, I commend you because I mean, oh God, they'll just sit there. Oh, do you want me to bring? Yes. The little puny talk that you get. It's like, oh,
yes.
for God's sake, you're 6'4".
That's the only time baby talks aloud in my bedroom.
Oh my God, that was on. That is so funny that you said that because brilliant webmaster for the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast Facebook page, Megan Vaughn, posted that 13 things that girls think dudes want, but they don't. Did you guys read that?
Oh, that one I missed. I've been dealing with a lot of other stuff. So
it was pretty good. But there was a baby talk line.
I don't know. I like baby talk.
No.
Turns me off big time.
Oh yeah. And so that was one of the ones. What was one of the other ones too was, being really loud during orgasm. It's like, if it's real, that's fine, but don't just do it for volume's purpose, because they can sense the vibe. It was pretty funny. I liked the article a lot.
It sounds like a performance.
Yeah. Well, it was really snarky, and I love the snark. Especially
yeah,
when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So guys, a few weird things that came up, and thanks for the late ads this morning on the breaking Tinder news. We'll get to that.
Been up way too late at night, way too early in the morning. Like, what could I find?
I know. Mm-hmm. So Madonna, and this kind of ties into some of the other stuff. Did you see the infamous fall at the Brit Awards where she was and her dancer was trying to pull her cape off?
Yeah, no capes. This is not from the Incredibles. No capes.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Not.
I mean, that was just, and so I was sitting there objecting to the headline, saying she did not fall. She was yanked to the floor. I mean, literally by a bad choreography moment.
Yeah, she said the cape was too tight. It was supposed to, pull away. And I'm just like, I think that would work well for most clothing. You just don't want it too tight. You want to be able to remove it quickly.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on the infamous Janet Jackson boob flop, because I was in a room full of people watching the Super Bowl, and I happened to be the only person in that room that saw it because everybody else was yapping because it was halftime, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't care. And I saw that happen. I'm sorry, and this affected me in broadcasting, in radio. Believe it or not, that whole thing affected broadcast radio more than it did television. With the FCC came down on radio, and it's like, are you serious? And it really, really crimped us, for quite some time, and it was very unpleasant. So I've been mad at her for a number of years since then. But did you guys not see that? You know how intensely that bustier was put together. There was a flap. There was a Velcro flap. I swear there was a flap. Don't you guys think?
It was planned, I think, because she was wearing a pasty also. So she didn't show no nipples. So I think it was a publicity stunt, I believe.
I know. And then she got all indignant.
Yeah, I just think it's, fascinating that, what was that, like 10 years ago? I mean, it was just quite a number, quite a number of years that it still goes back. I mean, that it's infecting things so many years later.
Yeah. And I mean, well, that's the thing I like about being here in the Podsphere. I mean, not that we like to just, drop, shocking, language or things. If it comes up in the conversation, we get to talk about it, and we don't have any big brothers telling us that we can't. And I love that, the freedom.
Yes. No, I find it, easy, because I've been on, a guest on a radio show here or there, and it just, I'm like, for me, normal conversation.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what can I say? What can I not say? How do I go about describing something without you, and then you just sound like a moron.
Yeah, that would be, I never thought about that, Colleen, but doing that on terrestrial radio would be really tough.
It's always
especially, yeah.
It's always been like, oh my God, I'm going to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I can't use the proper vocabulary.
And you know what? I don't think that there's anything wrong with disclaiming that, especially on, it's like, there's just certain limitations here. So if I start sounding like, whatever, because the adults get it. I mean, and I think we're antiquated that way. Don't you?
I think so.
I think
yeah.
Well, going back to Madonna, who's never been afraid of the censors, really quick, I thought it was also interesting because, of course, she made the news for falling on her butt. Poor thing.
I know.
And again, she came out and spoke about 50 Shades of Grey. And, she had that whole period of time where she did the sex book and she did, all of that other sort of thing. And she basically said, it's not very sexy. And she goes, maybe it might be sexy for somebody who's never had sex before. But she was completely and totally unimpressed with it. And she said, this is very unrealistic because no guy goes down on a girl that much. I'm sorry, but no one eats pussy as much as the guy in that book.
Well, it was fan fiction.
Yeah.
No, I have to admit that a lot of times I'll be looking through things and I'll go, just, do I care? And they're like, okay, but it's work. And so then I click.
Oh, that's why you click.
So I'll use that. Or, but I have to admit there are times for like the Star Tribune I've got, online, and I still get the paper, the physical paper.
Oh, that's cool.
And there were some things that I'm like, okay, I'm curious, but I can't give them the satisfaction of the click, so I'll wait until I get the paper copy and read the article. And I'm like, nobody cares, Colleen, but it's just in my own brain. In my own damn brain. It's the rationalizations for the crap that I want to read sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, and I love reading a physical newspaper. Come on. We're not giving up our age totally by saying that. It's just, I do like it, especially on Sunday. So, by the way, did you guys know that there's a new Pee Wee Herman movie coming?
I saw that, and I saw that some of my friends were really, really excited, but it was never a big thing for me. But then I went, wait a minute. But when I think about the influence, it's going to be spectacular. And I love the fact that this character is ageless.
He's 62. Paul Rubens is actually 62 in real life. Yeah.
And he's spectacular. I mean, although I have to admit, my favorite Paul Rubens thing is when he died in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
Oh, there's nothing like a good death scene. Okay. Or a good bad death scene. I'm not sure how it goes, but it was spectacular.
Well, it made me think, and he was extremely funny. I mean, and I was counting the years because I was thinking about his whole scandal thing with the theater in Florida, which we've talked about adult movie theaters before on this show. And it put him out of business for a solid 8 years. 8 years. And whereas Hugh Grant went on all the shows, said he was sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm an idiot, and he was right back about.
Hugh Grant is cuter.
Well, I know, and
but why couldn't one do it? I mean, it's just how you deal with it.
I think so. Yeah. But I think also though the fact, and you will attest to this, I think too, probably because he had the whole kid following. Mm-hmm. That was the other thing. But it wasn't like he was doing anything with a kid though. That's what's sad. It's like, I don't know. That was too bad.
No, there's the double standard that you can't be doing this, but if you have any anything to do with kids, you're right. That's
like
it.
Mr. Rogers, it was the same way when he had that whole problem. He pretty much went done because it was focused on kids.
Yeah.
And then the scandal gets out and parents are freaking out because, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And no, I mean, I agree. But I mean, I just hope that this comes out. It's going to be a Netflix produced film. And Judd Apatow is going to be involved with this.
Paul Rubens and Judd Apatow.
I know. So, yeah, let that one sink in for just a second.
That is going to be a lot of folks they're going to have an ab workout laughing.
I know. I mean, I can't even imagine. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, guys, other things in the news. Thought this was pretty funny. Have you guys heard of the concept of revenge porn?
Yeah, that nasty thing. But yeah, it's out there. The folks that will take old pictures of their boyfriends or girlfriends, generally men doing it to women, and just putting it out there to embarrass the hell out of someone that they're no longer with.
Yeah. Well, and this guy was this guy, one in particular that I'm talking about. His site was isanyone.down.com. His name is Craig Britton. The FTC did knock him off the net and out of business. But here's the hilarious, ironic twist of the story. He's going after Google for privacy protection now. Right? He's like demanding that all of these references that they basically wipe him clean after he was out there smearing people.
Are these like he's going through like European laws where you're supposed to take? Because I know that like in France and in some European Union countries. Oh my God, I can't even speak.
Have some more coffee, Colleen.
That you do have a right to be forgotten. Which does not exist here. So yeah, you might be able to. It might work in France. Yeah, not going to work here.
No, but I just thought, you know what? Can you be douchebag extraordinaire to a higher degree than this? I mean, unbelievable. So that's kind of one of them. I thought this was humorous, and this happened in our neighboring state of Wisconsin over the weekend. The group of kids underage drinking at 3:49 a.m. were out in Rothschild, so that's somewhere in the Wausau area over there. So 5 women, and 2 guys between 18 and 20 all got charged because one of them butt dialed 911 and brought the cops right to them.
How do you butt dial 911?
They must have called for something in the recent past, but accidentally called the cops, and they all got
Were they like partying in a field?
No, they were in a house.
Oh.
Yeah, not good. Those tickets are kind of a bugger when you're trying to go to college. Yeah. A little bit. So sorry about that, but seriously, guys, lock the screen. Lock the screen, right? One other one too. Sorry, I found a lot of dumb criminal stuff this week, but this cracks me up. So this guy gets pulled over in a traffic stop in Nebraska, and they thought he was maybe driving drunk. But what they really got interested in when they asked him to get out was the sour cream container labeled in black as not weed. Not weed, okay? And there was 11 grams. No, not weed.
Sour cream, obviously, we know how he likes his baked potatoes.
No kidding.
He's baked, the potatoes baked, everything's baked. I mean, oh my God.
Apparently he was, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not weed.
Yeah,
wow.
Not weed. And so, yeah, he's in a lot bigger trouble than just the DUI at this point in time. Okay, real quick, too, before we move into some of the bigger topics that we've got here today on the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast, there has been so many dresses in the news in the last week. It's driving me crazy. So I thought that they all needed a little bit of a mention because the last one, my finale, is too good. But and I can never get this gal's name right. Colleen, you're going to take it for me. Lupita Nyong'o?
Nyong'o, I think.
Nyong'o. Okay. Yeah. Her dress gets stolen. The pearl dress that she wore to the Oscars, which was just like crazy cool, especially on her skin. She just looked amazing. Well, guy took it and pulled 2 pearls off of it, had them appraised, found out they were fake pearls, so he just took it back. Right? like that whole thing is going to be real pearls. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I do believe it was like shoved under another bathroom sink or this or that. But I'm like, how do you? I mean, it's gonna get found. I mean, although I have to admit, it was probably one of the sexiest dresses.
I loved it.
That was one over there going through there because you have to move slow in it.
Yeah. Yes. Can you imagine sitting on that though? How?
You have to move slow. You have to have the confidence to wear something like that, and that is going to be sexier in hell.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and again, like, what secondhand store is he going to take that one to? Really? I mean, yeah, okay. So the other one, did you guys see the infamous blue and black, gold and white dress?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it ran across, and I looked at it. And I have to admit, I saw white and gold, and I'm like, this is a thing.
Did you see
But
the
it was-
one with the blue and black too?
Yeah, it was the same dress, and you can see it.
I
blue and black.
never saw it in blue and black.
Okay, so she's one of them. Right, I saw it in both, Michael.
I
You
saw it
did
in
too.
both.
And I have heard this story done like 50 times, and I still don't understand it. But it was out there. So okay, so we've got one person in the room. Colleen, you must be some sort of an interesting presenter. We got
Ready
to.
for that.
I have to admit, after a while, I flipped, past a lot, became interesting, and then came the backlash, which is always my more favorite part of social media. Is like, people are dying. Why are you looking at a dress? I'm like, well, because it's fun.
Yeah. and I can get back to death here in a couple moments.
Yeah. Because things are fun. I don't. I never take anything like that too seriously. It might be the job. Because I have a fun job.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I'm saving part of the world. It's not rocket scientist, but it's damn fun.
Well, and I think the next time you go to the chiropractor, Michael, on your regular visit, I think you ought to tell him you have a dildo sprain.
I think I've used that one already.
Oh, shucks. Okay. Well, I just got on board. So finally, the last dress in the news. This was funny. Today, the guy that painted Bill Clinton's official portrait for his presidency. They all get one done. Did you see this, Colleen?
I saw it. I have to admit, I clicked on it, but there must have been too many people clicking on it because it would not open.
Oh, I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it. So the painter, 77 years old now, and he's painted a lot of really famous people. And he actually admits that he put, in addition to leaving his wedding ring off of the portrait, which was very controversial when this portrait was released back in 2006. But he's got a shadow of a blue dress hanging in the portrait. And he hung it in his studio to create the shadow. So if you're looking at the photo of former President Clinton standing there, it's actually a really nice portrait of him. I thought the guy captured him very well. He's standing there, and there's a mantle. Look to the left, and you'll see it. It's right there, and it's in there, and he owns it, and it's out there.
Scandalous.
No, the one thing I did with the blue dress is that while that was happening, at one of our stores, we'd been there for like 20 years already, and I do the most PG windows. I mean, Victoria's Secret, Macy's, JCPenney to sexier windows than I do. But someone got their old panties in a bunch and complained about the window. And I'm like, I'll change the damn window. So I borrowed a suit from my brother, and one of the mannequins was wearing a suit. And another mannequin was wearing my blue dress and a beret. So she wanted the window changed. She got the damn window changed.
Good for you.
It doesn't every now and then, very rarely. It is very rare that I do something like that. But I'm like, we have been there forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a moment.
No.
I'm not particularly proud of it, but it does entertain me.
You know what? I'm with you, because my whole thing is, if you don't like it, either don't listen to it, watch it, read it, or look at it. Really? I mean, it's not, you do not have the right to not be offended. I do not believe that in this.
So I didn't get any complaints about that window.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you cracked me up this morning. You sent me a message saying that you were just astounded at how many November birthdays that you found in your Facebook. And I'm a November birthday.
I was giggling, doing the insomnia thing. And so you just, messing around Facebook, different places over that. And I saw someone's birthday and I click on it. And then I noticed, hey, I can look at all the birthdays throughout the year. And, okay, this month has 10 birthdays. This only has 8. And then I got to November.
Yeah.
And I keep my Facebook, pretty small. It's just, friends and all that sort of stuff. There were like 30 birthdays in November. And then I counted back and went, oh. And I'm like, at least in Minnesota, I'm like, either Valentine's or the bad weather just kept people in bed. I'm like, obviously February is a very sexy month.
It is.
And then I was talking to Liz, and she said October actually worldwide has more because New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking but in Minnesota here, I'm thinking there's a lot of sexy time in February.
September's another big one. I think those are the top 3. The birthday months are October, and but yeah, they trace back to like New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, and when the kids go back to school.
Yeah, I'm a June baby. I was born in June, so my parents were getting it on in September.
Yeah, because they finally had 5 minutes, to do something. That is so funny.
It's like, I just, you do this, like, you count back, you go, what happens then?
Well, I think we ought to do a promotion next year that says get your February on, and it's like, come on, the world needs more Scorpios. Let's get busy. I mean, I think that'd be funny. I mean, because
I don't know. I know a couple Scorpios.
Oh, now just settle down. I'm right over here. What are you? What are you? You're a
Gemini.
You're a Gemini. Well, you know what's really funny? Geminis and Scorpios. My best friend is a Gemini, and my sister. They have a very good affinity with one another. I have a lot of Gemini, so you just settle down over there, Mister.
Right.
I always like the Chinese zodiac because if you read the placemat in the Chinese restaurant. Mine says wise and intense with a tendency towards physical beauty. And so I forget the other half. I'll go, I'll take that.
What are you?
A Cancer or a snake.
You're a snake.
I'm a snake. Yeah.
I'm a horse. What are you?
I might be a rat. I don't know.
Okay. Rats are actually lucky. They really are.
I feel pretty lucky.
You are. I know you are. You have such a great husband.
I do.
You met at work.
I just remember that. Wise and intense. I'm like, hey, I can deal with that.
No, the wise. I can't remember. I can't remember what mine says, but it seemed fitting. I can't recall kind of all of it. So, guys, let's talk about Tinder for just a minute. There's some interesting stuff. Set that up for me.
Well, I turned on the radio this morning and and the web last night and all this, and all of it was about the fact that Tinder has, the dating site there has instituted a new pay app, and the older you are, the more you pay for it.
I see that,
and I'm like, obviously, I just went. You would actually pay more? I mean, did they? How did they figure this out?
Well, it breaks out like this: if you are a U.S. Tinder user, under 30, $9.99 a month for Tinder Plus. If you are 30 or older, it's $19.99. So, I mean, they double that. And I'm like, what is this, a fat, ugly old tax? What? I mean, that's just wicked.
I'm thinking ageism again.
Yeah.
Something reverts right back to ageism.
Then again, most folks over 30 nowadays probably have better jobs.
Yeah, they make more money.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
So, I mean, from a business model, if you're just looking at it, but once it gets out there, I mean, how would you? So if you join when you're, 29 and a half, what happens? It ends up being.
Well, and I'm sorry, but how are they going to really track your birthday?
Because you can lie on these things. Yeah, I suppose you can't be, 29 forever. I mean, you can in your own mind, but in real life it's not happening.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how else would that, where else would that work?
I know. Exactly. It's funny though. They were saying that they're taking a PR hit for this right now. But they said, right now they already have 50 million monthly users. 50 million. That's right now worldwide. I mean, just let that one sink in and at $10 a pop. I mean, whoa, Lou. So, and they're getting panned in the digital media right now over it. So, yeah.
Well, this will probably blow over a lot like when Netflix split up their stuff. I mean, you got to figure out how to make money off these things.
Right. I mean, these people are in business and they do create jobs and everything else. I'm okay for paying for stuff. I really am.
But it does sort of, it's sort of like the bar stuff where, women drink free and guys had to pay. And it just smacks of like, being truly unfair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, folks are using it, so split the difference and charge everyone the same.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. Well, yeah, because how do you think that, lesbian couples are okay with it, but gay male couples are not? I mean, that's not fair.
Right. I have to pay to get into this club, and then I have to pay for the drinks that I'm giving to these ladies. It's like...
Which does nothing for you.
Right.
Low. Yeah. I don't blame you. That kind of stinks. So yeah, pretty interesting thing. Do you guys know anybody that actively uses Tinder?
When we were talking this morning, and I'll let the person decide whether or not they want to, in a future episode, whether they'll mention it. They said they were not thrilled when they went onto it about how much access that Tinder had to other stuff in their Facebook. And so, yeah, they thought it was really, not a lot of privacy. I probably not. If I was single, I would probably not use it. I attempted eons ago to do some online dating, and I'm like, oh, but I happen to know several couples that met and are happily married, so I don't.
I'm 6 years into my relationship,
so I don't do that. But it just the most of it just seems so quick.
Yeah, well, I do know somebody that's
but then again, I'm old. So
No, you're not. This guy's in his 40s.
let's put it this way. I'm not young. Let's put it that way.
Okay. This guy shares your decade. He's in his
Okay.
early to mid 40s, actually. And here's the thing. I mean, it's just gotten a rap just by the people that I know that use it. It's hookup. I mean, to me, if I wouldn't want to be on there because I wouldn't be looking for somebody serious, or I would be afraid what people would think I was looking for,
Right.
being on that particular one. Whereas, I know not to, give Match everything, because I'll tell you something about Match. They are, pretty standard, and that's how, Carl and I met and all of that other kind of stuff. But when you try to quit, good God, you want to talk about tentacles? I mean, it took me like 4 months of, all sorts of crazy computer gymnastics to get my account shut down. It took us both like a year. I mean,
they keep saying, do you really want to? Or there's another way?
sure?
Or we'll give you...
They were sending him daily matches. Like every day in his email. And I mean, he was, pretty cool about it, but I'm sitting there, we'd both be doing something, and we use each other's computers all the time. And I'd lift it up and he'd be in his Google account on my computer, and it's like, oh, your daily matches. And I'm like, all right, that's enough of this crap. And so I finally went in there and, and got it. I actually have a friend who has, it's not funny. And yet I laugh.
Oh, no, yeah, she's over there, yes, snorting away.
Who's got a girlfriend with trust issues, like, whatever. And he's very trustworthy, but he's having the same problem that Carl did, not being able to shut it down. He goes, Kelly, I'm seriously ready to have my lawyer send a letter. And I said, did you try blah, blah? Yes. Yeah, you can't get away. So that's all I'm saying. Because then you get that girlfriend, and then you probably break up because Match won't leave you alone.
Right. Oh, double-edged sword there.
No, I'm glad I've not had to do that. But like I said, I know about really happy couples. So
Yeah. Well, the other one other new Tinder note is that they, I guess there's an option. I've watched my friend, who shall remain nameless, be picking out who he wants to try to meet that night. And I guess you used to be able to scroll past people, but if you swiped past them, you couldn't go back. It's like they were gone forever. They fixed that. So there's a recall button, and oops.
So that's what they're paying for. The chance of maybe the other one didn't work out. Let me go back.
I guess.
Plan B, plan C, plan D.
I guess. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
So that's another one. So guys, wanted to talk a little bit too today. Michael, we missed you so much the last few weeks.
Aww.
Liz and Megan love seeing him, but it's been way too long. You can't go that long again.
I promise.
We were talking about just the impact of porn on the video and DVD industries, and how that's why we have Blu-ray, why Blu-ray really made it. It was, for those different things. And we were, I've been talking to so many people who are now, because I guess of the movies that are out and the things about home videos, and how many people admit that they have their own little digital library. So
sure.
What do you hear in the stores about this?
Yeah. They'll ask questions about the toys, and they'll bring things up, but certain things I think they haven't in fact kept pretty silent.
Really?
Yeah, going through there, possibly just the availability to easily videotape yourself just means that it, to some extent it's private until it becomes revenge porn, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's that.
But not too much in the stores. I mean,
no, not too much. A lot of people, they won't mention the home videos that they make because that's kind of secret, but they will come in looking for like home style porns, like other people have created themselves, and then they put a production company on it and they sell it. So we do have homegrown amateur films that they'll come in and seek, but they don't really talk about their home. I think that's in secret.
Well, the question that I would have is if somebody decided that that they wanted to get out their little HD video camera and then work it up on iMovie later. I had videotaped some clients the other day, and I was like, whoa, this would be just way too easy. But I was just wondering, I mean, what would be a couple of good things if somebody wanted to do that you would suggest for like the starter kit for your own homegrown porn?
Oh, well, a lot of folks, and I've seen stuff in books, and that you want the bedroom or wherever you are to be a sanctuary. I mean, you're talking about if you want to keep this, do you really want yesterday's laundry on the floor? I mean, this is if your bedroom is also your office, put a screen in front of it. I mean, if you're going to take the time to film yourself, if you really want to enjoy it later, I mean, set the mood. I mean, you don't have to go to Macy's and spend $1,000 on sheets, but you can go over to Tuesday morning and pick up a nice set of sheets or a couple of pillows that you can use later for propping up bits. But really set the mood. This is going to be, I think setting up could be part of the foreplay
for sure.
But really, if you're going to be looking at it, you might focus on it. But I don't know, if I was going to look at a tape, I tend to notice things like, oh God, there's the leftover pizza from last night.
That is such a good point.
The point is if you were turned on by watching yourself, making love, which is, pretty cool. If you're, everyone's comfortable with that, set the stage, have it be the sanctuary, have it be a fun space, and not have the rest of your life intruding in with little bits all the way around.
Right. Like if you're planning on putting it on the internet too, I would make sure like any family portraits or pictures are put away. Make it like, nobody can direct it right to you.
Perfect.
But I would hide like all personal items or anything that anybody can get your address off or anything, because it could go viral. It can get big,
Yeah.
Depends on what you're going to do with this movie. And if it's going to be for your privacy, you could have the revenge porn on your hand. You don't want your pictures, your family portrait right next to the bed.
Absolutely not. No, that makes really good sense. Colleen, it's funny. A friend of mine cut a really cool short film. She and her longtime director, collaborator friend, and it was about a bit of a racy topic about, it's called Anniversary, and it's out there online. You can Google it, and the director is Gr8 Nrthrn, but you can find it out. It's out there on YouTube, and it's about a wife that has a fantasy of hiring a stripper for their 10th anniversary. And so they're in this hotel room. Well, I watched this script from, the years it took to get this thing made. And it really kind of goes into this very interesting psychological aspect of the dynamic there this was the wife's fantasy, not really the husband's. And you learn that rather quickly in the movie. It's like about a 15 or 20 minute film. At any rate, when I heard everything that it took to make that room look like that room, holy crap. So yeah, you can't spend enough time staging it. I honestly, and just try to think about the stuff that's might be lingering, because all you think you're going to see is the action, and you won't.
No.
Okay. Yeah. You may, the first time you look at it, you may only notice that, but you're going to start noticing things, and it's going to be distracting. Yeah. And each person sort of needs to take a look at the room, because certain things are going to be distracting to each person. Someone else may not notice the laundry, but another person, like you said, might notice, oh, really? Is that a picture of our family picnic over there? Really, that's
hey, there's grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
That's a mood killer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's upsetting.
Yeah. You may not notice it, but you're going to notice it. You're going to notice it on film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to set the stage. Rose petals. You can get a few feather ticklers throw on the bed. Setting up the stage to make it romantic, make it for you.
That's cool.
And I'd probably keep the candles far away, because who knows? You do not want to go launching a pillow into a candle.
No.
They have plenty of flameless candles now if you want some moods that way. Or keep it away from the bed. As if you're really, that just, seems very dangerous. And I would probably keep, your pet out of the bedroom too.
Yeah, that's not sexy.
Can you imagine? Yeah, no.
And never do it underneath a ceiling fan.
Right.
Concussion waiting to happen. Personal experience.
I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I am now.
Okay, good.
Really?
A couple years of rehab, you're fine.
That's right. I got my senses back now.
The scars are healed. Oh my God.
Yeah. The physical scars are healed, but the mental scars will always be there.
You just never, ever. Anytime somebody turns on the ceiling fan, it's
like, I start shying away.
PTSD.
That's right.
Oh my God. Okay, you're cracking me up.
Sorry.
Okay, so we came in the room today, and how did we get on the topic of? Well, we were talking about the show, and we're at our 10th episode. Woohoo!
Yay,
we're in double digits. We're in double digits, and all this kind of stuff. Let's talk about the whole self-promotion aspect, Miss Minnesota.
Yeah, when we first started talking about doing this, I'm like, well, how do we do this? I wasn't quite sure how you go about it. Then I realized I have to stop being so damn Minnesotan.
Yeah.
We have a very fun business. We have very fun people. We have very fun products. And we're great topics. And I'm like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But you get, you're like, but will that work? And so I have to get over the mental hurdle of talking about myself.
Well, Michael, do you feel that too at all, being part of the company for such a long time as well and so involved as you are?
I really love self-promoting. I love talking about our company. Anywhere I go, I have a stack of business cards I take on trips with me. I'll hand them out because this is a fun company. This is the stuff that we sell is definitely a conversation piece. And I can go out of any country and talk about people, and they're like, "Oh, I want that website." I'm shipping international.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of years. I mean, okay, if you own a restaurant, you might know other chefs, but I don't really know other people. We've been pretty insular for like 35 years now, and so it's just a different world that I'm going into here now. I've done a little performing in the past, so I'm comfortable talking. But I was like, it's been a whole new mindset for me. Just trying to wrap my brain around it.
We were walking, the boyfriend and I, in Minneapolis, and we walked by an adult store, and he stops in his tracks and he looks at it and he says, what's the difference between that and fantasy gifts? And I'm like, where do I start? I said, do you think I would just go walking in there? And he goes, no, not without a baseball hat, sunglasses, and a trench coat. And I said, exactly. And that therein is the number one.
Yeah. I mean, it just, the association with what people think stuff is versus, it isn't. It's just, sometimes if you go, out there, you're like, do I feel like battling the bullshit today?
Yeah.
And I'm more than willing to do it, but a lot of times you're like, it's just like any business. You're like, you get tired after a while. Yeah. But it's so much fun. And so I realized, okay, let's do this, which is why when we said, we can talk about us. I can do this.
Yeah, and it's weird because you've had you guys are still in the year 2015, which blows my mind, still have some strange civic and community ordinance issues. Then there's some just natural just sort of resistance to the business because some people have prejudged it. And then, like you were saying earlier in the show, you can't just go on regular radio and TV and just start saying dildo and vibrator and
no. They really hate the word cock too.
Yeah, they're really upset about that one.
That's my favorite word.
It's a great word.
It is a great word. Somebody just had to make it dirty.
Yeah, well, it's on George Carlin's original list. That one. God rest his soul. One of the funniest human beings to ever walk the face of the earth, and the smartest, I think.
Funny equals smart. Smart equals funny. There is no doubt about that.
Exactly. And so I mean, I can see how you would get to that point, but it's like, what do you want to do differently besides reach people through this? I mean, I know we want to get some of your distributors on to talk about stuff. I'd love to hear it from their perspective.
Oh, there's some cool people.
Yeah. When they've also chosen to make a living selling products or promoting products that, like, well, hey, what are you promoting now? Well, I have this new line of vibrators. And I mean, sure, just at Thanksgiving, that just becomes it's just a different conversation.
Yeah.
But to some extent, it's not that much different than, if you're a lawyer, everybody always wants to ask you for free advice,
right?
So
or a doctor.
It's a doctor. Yeah. So there's issues with everybody's business, but I mean, most folks see me and try and feel like, well, you look normal.
You do,
and it just sort of cracks, so it's sort of fun to just sort of show up and be normal and mess with people sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. Michael, you have a diagram over there. What do you have?
I have this is the diagram. It's a new company that we've taken on. It's called the Rabbit Company. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, there's new styles of rabbits that we're getting on. They're coming soon.
Gosh. Okay.
There's
a little rabbity guy.
Is the word coming still make me giggle like I'm a 14-year-old sometimes? I know. We're just talking about trying to be grown up and trying to promote yourself and trying to just, be entertaining. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm giggling over the word coming. And I'm like, oh.
See that? I like that though. That means you haven't lost your innocence, which is I appreciate that about you.
No, it's just, there are just times like I was talking about before. It's just, I see, see interesting things all over the place, and I misread things all the time.
Yeah, we definitely.
And so, like I said, I'm hoping by next week or the following week. I think these are supposed to ship out on the February 28th. So now we're into March 3rd. We'll be getting them, I think, this week.
And starting to make room for them now.
And it's a whole new line, because you got to have something new in, spring. Spring renewal and all that.
Bunnies.
I'm bunnies fraternity.
For that.
And so there's a whole new line. So we'll be getting that up on obviously the Fantasy Gift site, and we'll put a link on the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast Facebook site. And because And you can leave a private message there. There is the message feature that I have left open, so you don't have to like go out in public and ask a question.
Okay. Now I'm looking here. First and foremost, may I just say I'm a longtime rabbit fan. Mm-hmm. And boy, does mine ever look like it's from 1972 compared to this. I swear. It looks like the Pinto of rabbits compared to what this new stuff looks like. But they've got like 4 different versions.
Yeah, they have a G-spot one.
A rotating rabbit, the classic rabbit. And what is the beaded rabbit? Tell me about that one, because I can't really tell from the picture.
The beaded looks like it is a powerful yet ultra silent premium.
Most of the beaded ones are going to have inside the rotating section
the pearls.
1 or 2, maybe multiple rows of beads.
Yep,
They're going to be encased,
okay.
And so it's just going to be for added stimulation.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see the beads right there.
We've done,
there it is. Okay, now I can see it.
I even brought pictures.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, we will, and I know this is a podcast, but we will put the pictures up on the website so you can see it too.
And I just love it. I mean, because this the last several shows, Megan has gotten the links to absolutely everything that we've been talking about too. So if you want to read the stories for yourselves and all of that kind of stuff, yeah. But no, that's really cool. And the rabbit is, I mean, wouldn't you say that that's probably the best known one out there?
Yeah, it was very popular even before it got on the TV show, The Sex and the City years ago. It was always a popular style because, I mean, there's form and function. It just does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this in particular one is being promoted on Howard Stern's show.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, that helps.
That definitely helps. People be asking about it.
Years before I saw the Sex and the City show, I found out about the rabbits from, believe it or not, an article in Playboy. And I always subscribe to it. It's a good magazine. I mean, I'm sorry, but they really do have great articles. I mean, but they do. Yeah. And this article was written by a female, and they had her, they took a freelance writer and assigned her to go investigate all these sex toys. It was great. And she was so funny about, mishaps and, all the different things. And that one she wrote very fondly of the rabbit. And I have to give her a good review on the article because she was right.
No, there was a style that, there are many really good styles, and we try and carry as many as we can. But there has just been times, and this is true, where one woman has brought another woman into the store, just marched her to the back of the store, grabbed a particular vibrator off the wall and said, "This is the one you want," and then brings her friend right up to the counter and says, "Here you go." And this is not a rare occurrence.
Oh no, I've done it to my friend. I'm like, "Oh, you got to get one of these. Oh, you got to have one of these suckers." Yeah,
and I've met, and then friends of friends. I said, "Yes, I will meet you at the store, and we will talk about the stuff." It doesn't happen that often, but if they're really, really interested, we'll take them to the store. And that's what's really nice about Liz and the Home Parties is that she will really have a chance to talk to you about the product, because as when you're in the store or there's a whole bunch of them there, but another customer comes in or there's a question or you're you don't have a lot of or you're running in between errands or something going through there, but at a Home Parties she can talk to you about anything. And that's another thing about you can now email us too and ask a question about this or item or that item that you're seeing, and we'll give you the best answer we can.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, after 35 years, I love the fact that my dad figured this out 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And then has really good relationships with companies because this company that we're going to be bringing in, it's new, but we know the people behind it.
Oh,
and they've worked in the industry for a long time. So, if they're going to come out with something and they brought in the samples, this is not crap.
No, we trust
it's good stuff.
Is Tara going to come in and talk about any of her finds after she gets back from a trip?
We hope to get her in here.
Is she afraid?
She's there are just times when she's just trying to figure out what would I talk about.
Right.
And so there's not everybody is as comfortable in front of a microphone.
Okay.
But I definitely love her eye when it comes to picking out stuff. And the same with Liz. I mean, some of the best buyers I've ever had. They can, especially with working out deals, which is my sister's favorite part.
Oh, really?
Make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Great toys, cheap prices.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, I would just love to hear like kind of a blow by blow of a show, like when she's gone out and how did you stumble upon this? Well, what happened there? Because it's like, and then why in your mind did you think that that's going to work here? I think a lot of us in the buying public would really kind of like to know how it gets to the show.
I actually went to a show before.
How'd that go?
4 years ago. That's when I met Jessica Drake.
Oh,
it was a weekend of fun. They treat you so good down there. Yeah, I went to the one in Hollywood, Florida. It was me and Eric, my husband, and then our old buyer, Kenda, and her boyfriend. But we drove down there. It took us 32 hours in a minivan.
I know, but road trip funny.
It is, road trip is fun. I went to some scary places. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Tennessee scares me.
Really?
Let's get out of there.
Okay. All right.
No, but I mean, when you're going down to the show, it's a lot of fun because you want everything, and then you have to. I mean, it is the kid in a candy store.
Yeah,
is like grown up in a sex toy. So you're just like, I want it all. I want that flavor. I want that size. I mean, everything is because they're going to bring their best, and then you have to decide. Okay, I know what I like. I know what the customers have sold before. I'm like, okay, where's the price point? And and some things are just absurd. You're just like, okay, we've tried that. I used to do the buying, and I'm so glad that I do not have to go through the thousands, and I'm not kidding, a product and curate it down to see what's going through there. But I'll flip through something new, and if I've seen it, I'll go, this has been around for a while, so we can look at it two ways. Either A, they've never been able to sell it, and they still have it, or if it's been improved, or it used to be a one type of material and now it's a higher end silicone. It's like, they've improved this. They put a better, motor on it. They put better stuff on it. So I'm like, maybe we should look at this. And then I put a little Post-it note on it, and then I put it on the desk and I walk away.
Yeah.
Because I did. Because we throw stuff at Tara and Liz and Tim all the time. And at one point I'm like, okay, when we win the lottery, we'll get it all in.
Yeah, there is a lot, and not only do they just show you the products and all the things, but they give you a seminar also. So they tell you about all the great features and everything. So they're just not giving you a table to just look at all that stuff and say, oh, I'll take that and that. They actually talk about the stuff, get the manufacturers that tell you about the products, what's so great about it, what kind of warranty it has.
I want to do a mini seminar on the podcast. Can we get like some instructional stuff? Like, okay, with somebody to come in and go through some of the more interesting.
Well, we're hoping to. It could be a couple of months, but we can maybe if someone's in town earlier, we can get them in. But we are working on a June seminar right now.
Okay,
so we'll have a bunch of suppliers and stuff like that. We can probably work off of there, and I'm trying to get a hold of some of our suppliers for call-ins.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Because I just think that would be such a different, thing, that we could do going in there. But I mean, going back to what you were saying, Michael, too, about and you, Colleen, also, like improved materials or whatever. It's like, in theory, the rabbit that I have looks similar to those, but it's like a total redesign of cars, like the Mustangs now versus what they used to look. I mean, it's just really that different. It's amazing. And I guess they come up with innovations in particularly materials a lot, don't they?
Yeah. What you have, everyone wants the silicone, but it gets very, very expensive. So people have come up with blends, which work out really well. So they come up with better molds. They come up with better motors. It's, is it rechargeable? How is the recharging working? Do you click it into a stand? Is there a cord? So there are a lot of different things that are going on there. What sort of batteries, if you're using batteries, are you using regular batteries or not?
Now we've got music.
We found the music.
There's the music.
How is this possible? I was trying to set it up for the end of the, honestly, really? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, that's what's fascinating. So we'll take a look at it. I mean, just like they may not have done a better mousetrap, but they have, in fact, will create a better vibrator. And when they do, we'll get it in.
Okay. And that's the, I think, the critical thing. I mean, I guess I didn't realize how much innovation there was in that industry because probably I never realized how huge it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the companies alone, I mean, I remember, when I'm not kidding, when it used to be like a 20-page catalog and now it is phone book size. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's fascinating. I mean, just the amount of things we get in, the amount of lingerie that we get in. I mean, the catalogs, you could fill like a Costco size store. And I am not kidding. Wow. And and you're just like, and it's all so pretty. But then We do. I have, in fact, sort of squealed over adorable little sex toys.
I know. I remember the glow-in-the-dark butt plugs. You were beside yourself about those.
They were so cute.
No, so I'm just out of curiosity. I know that you've really recently expanded the online presence for fantasygifts.com, and there's 2 sites there. And there's the Minnesota version, and then there's the New Jersey one. But you've got just a humongous amount of selection online that you've spent months and months working on. Talk a little bit about that, too.
Well, what we do is there's 3 websites, to be honest. There's the Fantasy Gifts Minnesota, which is the stuff that has we're local, what's in the stores here. And as a part of that is online only. It's some of the higher end and more specific items that people have asked for, but just I can't sell enough of them. And there's only 5 million people in the whole state. So I've curated some of that to the online only items. So there's some Fun Factory vibes and some Lalo vibes and some Vaculock dongs from Doc Johnson, where I just there's a need for them. People want them, but just not enough to carry them in the stores here. So I have them available there. The New Jersey site, because New Jersey and Minnesota are very different stores, carries the items that sell well in their stores.
Okay.
And so that's what's, when you go to fantasygifts.com, you'll see, click on Minnesota, click on New Jersey, and you can decide, where you want to go shopping. Now, part of the Minnesota site is our partner website, and you can see that too on the top. It says Shop Our Partner site, and there's another link on the left side of the page. What that is that we're working with one of our larger distributors, and all those items come directly out of their warehouse.
Okay.
That is thousands of items. So that is even more Doc Johnson Vaculock items. That is even more Rabbit vibrators. That's even more of, let's say, glass vibrators. Because you just everything is there. Plus, there's a link to their video distribution, so you can even get more DVDs.
Okay.
So there's the 3 sites, and so the new site has been it's just been really exciting. I'm just people are they're buying stuff we have in the store. They're buying the online stuff. I haven't been doing as much on the partner site. So I do, there's a lot of stuff there, and that will ship, directly from one of their 3 warehouses. So it's going to get to you
pretty quick, huh?
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff on there. So if you see something you like, and here's the best part, there are computers in the stores. So if you go in and you're looking at, let's say, you have a Vaculock harness and you want something new and you're not seeing that, or you're looking at our online site, you can go right over to the other website, and there's going to be another 30, 40 items in that category.
Okay. Yeah.
Vibrators alone, there are thousands.
Yeah.
So you're going to find what you want.
Yeah, but you can also ask for some help. Anybody that works in any of the stores can talk to you about, if you're looking at something online, they can tell you how it compares to what's right there in the store, and kind of lead you toward the better materials and compositions, right?
Right. Yeah. When one of the things I did is I just because it's at that store or at that site, I can turn it off if I'm not happy with the product. So we're going through there, and we have to, match the prices, get it priced right, so it's comparable to what's going on in World Wide Webland.
Okay.
And employees are very educated too. They got a good brain on their head, so they're not going to hard sell you. You're not going to try to sell you something that you're not going to need.
No.
We're not going to automatically tell you, this is the best item we have in the store. No, they're going to find out what your needs is and what your budget is, and kind of stick around that. So.
Yeah.
If everyone could buy a, if everyone could afford it, $250 silicone rechargeable vibrator, that would be great. But we know that's just not the case.
Yeah.
No.
And so I'm going to have a safe, good, reliable product at a much lower price point too.
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense. And I love the idea of going online to fantasygifts.com to kind of pre-shop. And then go on in, and I'm going to mention the Facebook page one more time today. It's Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast on Facebook. You can catch all of the goofy stories that that turn our crank and that we talk about here, and a lot of other fun information on there. I loved how Megan captured "A woman is like a snowflake" from the last show, and she put that up as a post. That was pretty funny. Guys, because we were talking about staging the romance, if you want to do your own digital home movies and things like that. I thought this was funny. And since we decided that February is a high sex month, Spotify came out with some stats on based on all the playlists that they have, within their system. And again, they're tracking us all the time, all these companies, right? I thought this was kind of interesting. 2.5 million sex playlists that Spotify users have put together. And
so, they just name them sex? Or
sex playlists. Yeah. They have determined by how their users have them stored in their accounts that there are 2.5 million sex playlists, which is funny. In my iPod, which is almost an antique now, you know what I mean? I had my, mood music 1, 2, 16, 49 in mine. But anyway, 56% of those 2.5 million playlists were put together by men. Well, that surprised me a little bit.
It's the modern mixtape.
Yeah.
Putting together stuff like that. I had mixtape made for me back in the past. Yeah. I wonder where those are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would I have something to play on them?
Right.
If I can find
cassette?
it.
Yeah. So this is kind of weird. The 2-minute instrumental song intro by the Double X is #1 song to make love to. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Then the rest of the top 10 real quick. From Eden by Hozier, Menswear by the 1975, Magic by Coldplay, a remix of You and Me by Disclosure, Sweet Ophelia by Zella, Let's Get Started. Is any of this ringing a bell with any of you? By Dylan Gardner, Night Like This by LP, Talk Is Cheap by Chet Faker, and Dreams by a band I don't know how to pronounce. But the other thing too,
I don't recognize any of them.
Don't ya?
Oh my God!
I'm not very romantic. I don't recognize those either.
I'm just thinking, oh my God. I was never really into music, but I figured I'd recognize at least something in there. Oh God, I'm feeling old.
Well, I'm thinking that's probably our problem.
But then again, if you're putting together a Spotify list or this or that, I don't know too many, it's going to skew younger.
Oh yeah,
it's going to skew younger because I would I didn't expect some 9 Inch Nails or Chris Isaak or Al Green or just some. Yeah.
You know what? You're going to like this next one. So there's 2.5 million sex lists. Okay. 28 million love playlists labeled like 63% of those were put together by men. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're going to start recognizing these. Okay. John Legend's All of Me, #1. Okay. Stay by Rihanna. Mm-hmm. Not a Bad Thing by Justin Timberlake. Drunk in Love, Beyonce. Mm-hmm. Say Something by Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. My Broken Heart by Rixton. Adore You by Miley Cyrus. Just Give Me a Reason by Pink. Let Her Go by Passenger. And Mirrors by Justin Timberlake. Justin's got 2. So,
well, he's sort of hot.
Yeah,
he moves well for being as dorky as he was when he was a kid.
Well, and I like him as an actor. Mm-hmm. And he's so damn funny on Saturday Night Live, and he's so self-deprecating. He'll do anything.
Yes, mm-hmm. I think he's my favorite co-star in Saturday Night Live.
So in other words, I don't recognize I don't recognize the sex, but I do recognize the romance. Is this what we're saying?
Well, okay. No, here's some more. These are Valentine's ones. Take My Breath Away by Berlin. Kiss from a Rose by Seal, which I love Seal dearly, but if I have to hear that song again, I'm going to chew off my own arm. 2 Became One by the Spice Girls. I Promise You by NSYNC. I Swear by All for One. This is getting a little sappy for me. Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. I Do by 98 Degrees. The Power of Love by Celine Dion. Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden. And there was one other one. I Love You Always Forever by Donna Lewis.
Okay, I recognize some of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally,
so we're not sexy, we're romantic.
No, I think personally what it is, I think for me personally, lyrics would get in the way. If you're going to have, I think instrumentals are sexier.
Oh.
Like classical or...
Whether it's jazz or whether it's classical or whether it's
jazz,
or it's going through there. But
what about Marvin Gaye? Let's Get It On.
Right,
that is sexy.
Okay.
Sexual healing.
Yeah. Well, and Barry White.
Barry White.
Oh my God.
His voice.
Or the or anything that Annie Lennox, anything that comes out of her damn mouth.
I love Annie Lennox. Oh my God, wasn't she so good? By the way, did you?
Oh yeah. I ended up buying. Yeah, I ended up buying her disc. I mean, it was on my list. Actually, it was what I have is I was listening. I think probably to NPR, and they were interviewing her, and I'm like, okay, I have my little Post-it note. And I tuck it under the mat on my desk, and I'm like, I got to get this. And it was like months later, and I'm like, after that performance, I'm like, I'm going to own that. I own that the next day.
Okay. Did you guys catch her appearance at the Olympics when they were in England? And she did. They did this whole salute to British music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she came out in a ship. Okay, and she's like the lady on the front of the ship,
nice.
and only she could pull this off. It was amazing.
I love that.
It was amazing. But yeah, no, love Annie Lennox. Well, okay. So were those your top two most romantic ones?
Yeah, I got Endless Love, and my favorite was Barry White and all that.
Colleen, do you have one off the top?
I've always been really bad at it, but I have to admit, anything that is really sort of bass or low sounding.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, Closer at Nine Inch Nails. When I danced to that when I was younger, that was hotter than hell.
Oh yeah.
That was going through there, and then there may have been music later. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you can't remember that, that's a pretty good thing. I'm trying to find mine. I think my all-time favorite one. Okay, anything by Massive Attack. Okay, there you go with a lot of instrumental. They do have vocals, but they kind of fade because they're so ethereal. So I would say Massive Attack, but the other one would be Just Like Honey by the Jesus and Mary Chain. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dates me.
Yeah, I should not be agreeing to ignoring it.
Yeah,
I have no clue.
you know the song I'm talking about, though. It's pretty darn good.
No, I think one of the other sexier voices in the world really is Chris Isaak.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And he's just been acting lately. He hasn't really done any music in quite some time.
No, he did something on Showtime when I had cable that was hilarious, where he was playing a version of himself with his band.
Oh,
that
God.
was must see. I don't even know if it's available on Netflix or Hulu or anything, but it was it was hysterical.
Oh, awesome. Well, guys, one of these days we're going to get this music thing figured out.
This is really, she's over here punching buttons and doing all this.
And nothing's happening. Absolutely not a damn thing. So we'll go ahead and...
We'll have to get ourselves... it has to be over 18 because we're talking about that. We'll have to get ourselves a kid in here to punch buttons for us.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try bringing it. I'm just going to bring the iPod. We need a kid. Let's just get your little music chick in here, and we'll get everything going. Guys, great episode 10. Michael, you better not wait so darn long to come back.
I promise.
Well, yeah, when he's healthy, we're good. When he's not healthy, oh yeah. And by the way, Mom, if you're listening, go home.
Yes.
She has pneumonia.
Oh,
yeah.
Should not be working.
So I just want to put that out there in the universe. Yeah.
Go home. Okay. Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast on Facebook, and check us out also on Twitter, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.